Hello. It's kind of a chromy day out today, so I figured I'd do some work inside on the Cockshutt 40 and getting some wiring and stuff done. Started painting some parts and wanted to show you the anatomy of the internals of the transmission for those that are interested. So it's a pretty interesting piece of machinery. So this is a high-low type of transmission, so it's a dual range, and back here is where your shifter turret goes. So that would be where you get your gating for your different ranges, and it's on 3 shafts that go from all the way back there to all the way up here in the front, where they have a little detent pod right there. So that's kind of what holds them into place when they get into mesh. Up here at the front, you've got obviously your clutch and your flywheel, and that's hooked up to a shaft within a shaft. So normally there's just a spline, but in this on this particular tractor, it has a live power takeoff. So there's actually a drive shaft on inside of the, I'll call it the hollow power drive shaft, that runs all the way back. You can see that thinner shaft runs all the way to the back of the tractor, where it powers the gear set for the PTO. Kind of interesting stuff. So the way it works is you've got on the left side, kind of way down on the bottom, that is what hooks up to your transmission. Okay, so that the output of that guy is basically, it drives the pinion gear right down there. So it'd be, that little stubby helix that drives the big ring gear. Okay, that's your transmission output shaft. And then on the right side, on top here, you've got what I call like an idler shaft. Okay, so basically in the middle, this is in the neutral position, center neutral. The 3 shafts in the center shaft is basically your high-low selector. So that guy, when that moves back and forth, when you're doing the high-low selection like that, it goes all the way up to the front, and that carrier comes over here to the idler, and it'll shift that guy forward or backward, depending on what range selection you're doing. Okay, when it does that, this guy will either move, let's get in here, we'll either move that way and mesh, so that's like small to big or big to small, right? So they're a match set. So once it's meshed, now I have engine power turning my idler shaft in the, whatever high or low range. Okay. So you'll notice once I've moved it forward, now I have this cool little rectangular cutout. So now my shifter is allowed to move to the left or to the right, and I can get whatever gate I want for whatever gear range I want. So when you're allowed to gate over, now I can move one of these shafts forward or back. Okay, and what that does is it'll take any one of these 2 carriers, right, and they'll move them forward and back. And what you'll see is that will engage one of those gear sets into its corresponding power hookup. Right, so then you can mesh a gear into one of the match gears on the idler, which is now powered, and that will drive your transmission output shaft. All right, pretty cool. Beautiful piece of machinery. Gotta love old school engineering. All right, I find that fascinating, so I hope you do. I hope you enjoy the video. Thanks.